Boom. Hey, how's everyone doing? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Wednesday night live class. Let me just kind of get my camera set up there. And I am glad that you are here. We've got a nice little crowd, it looks like, going. I'll call this a crowd. 12 looks like we got about 12 people watching. That's okay by me. So, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Tonight I'm going to show you how to draw this gentleman's portrait step by step. We are going to go through, I'm going to show you some tricks or some ideas how I would approach this. Sometimes I do this traditionally. Tonight I am using my iPad and I'll be working in the program Procreate. And if you want to know, I use only one brush. Let me bring that up so you can, if you're a Procreate person, you can see kind of what I'm using. I'm using a 6B pencil. 6B pencil, nothing fancy about it. Let me just double check this. Yeah, nothing fancy about it. Just straight up. And I use my Apple Pencil. And so you will be able to follow along and see all that great stuff. I am live right now. So if you have any questions, by all means, just, what am I doing here? There, clear. Just throw out a question. Yep, there we are. We got our main crew together here. So let's get right into this. Okay. Starting with your, keep this kind of loose right up out of the bat here. You know, this is a 3/4 view portrait. And so whenever I draw a 3/4 view portrait, you've got a couple things going for you. Usually it means that you have one side that's very flat. So look at this man's, let me get a couple colors here going so I could use them throughout if I need to. Look at this man. Look at the side of his head here. Look at that. That's almost a straight line. That's a great start. And then it's very curved around. So if you ever have a 3/4 view, all right, always look for that straight line on one side, and then just sweep it around. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. So I'm just gonna take my pencil over here, give myself just a straight line. Look at that, just like that. And I'm going to come around here like this. Boom. Just make it easy. Make it easy on yourself. There's Valerie. Yeah, let's see. I am not able to get live for some reason. Sandy, what do you mean you can't get live? You can't see this? I'm not sure what you're saying, Sandy. So you'll have to let me know, all right? Maybe I can help you. Okay, so we've got our shape of our head basically. Let's look for, as soon as I get those two kind of lines going, the next thing I look for is this right here. That's the brow line. Look at that angle that we got going. You think you could pull that off? So let's see here. Let's get that angle in just like that maybe. And then check this out. This right here, we put that line, we put that brow line right in between the temples. Temples are right here on either side of the head. You see that? You could use them, you can take your fingers and feel them right on the outside of the eyebrows. And it's really at this temple, then this becomes the flat side of his head. Do you see? And the next thing that happens, what we do is we run this down right to the top of the ear. So let's lightly put that in here. So let's first put a mark here, right here for that temple over there, and then where you put the second one in, you kind of have to be careful here. Look right here, where you put that second one in. Look at the distance here. You see this? And then the distance here. All right, so let's see. Let's see if we come across here. I'm going to go there. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then the back of my head is going to be somewhere back here. Let's go ahead and next we're gonna turn the corner here. All right, that's that red line there, and then we could kind of then put this flat side right there, just like that. We're just doing the construction right now, so we'll come back. I'll erase all that stuff when we start getting into the detail. But this first part of our drawing, this is, I break your drawing down in 3 parts. You have your gesture, construction, and then the detail. This kind of falls into gesture construction. We're kind of putting that stuff in first. And let me also just remind you that you should never try and draw somebody's likeness. You should always try and get the construction of their face. All right, this little mark that I just put into, that's the center line. That's the center line. So let's get that in place there. All right. And from the center line, then we end up getting the center line of the face. You see that? Let's put that in as well. So we're just gonna bring this in just like that. Oh, what happened to my disc over there, right? All right. From the brow line to the bottom of the nose, look at that distance. It's like that distance right there. You could usually take that distance and double it and get to the bottom of the chin. So if I doubled it, look at that right there. That's the bottom of his chin. Go ahead and drop a little measurement there. So there's the bottom of his nose, and then there's the bottom of his chin. And at this point, then you can actually just kind of like rough in. Look at that angle, a little bit of angle of that jaw there. And then check this out. Over here, if you drop a line that's like right through the side there, you could kind of get the corner. You could kind of get the ear. The ear is going to be in the bottom right down in here. So let's add that. And look, if you haven't noticed already, look how nice and light. Look how nice and light my underdrawing is right now. And to get this ear, we're just going to we're going to do it lightly. We're just going to drop in some straight lines. Just kind of getting everything all worked in here. All right, next thing, let's get the eye line. Look at that. There's the eye line right there. You see? Let's put that in as well. Make sure that the brow line, the eye line, the bottom of the nose, and the chin, that all these things are parallel. Look at, there's the line for the mouth. You see that? Put that in as well. Hey, Christina, there she is. And then I want to show you one other thing before we move to our next phase, right? This area here, you see it in older gentlemen like myself, especially in this gentleman. This is the ball of the mouth, the ball of the mouth. So come in here. Okay, it goes right. Do it lightly. This is all your construction here. Look. There's the ball of the mouth. And then what sits on top of this is the chin. All right, and we're like right there. You see that? All right, and Sometimes we'll call this, I've seen this called the box of the chin. Box of the chin. Another measurement here that I just want you to be aware of. The ball of the mouth, the corners come to the ball of the mouth, and the corners a lot of times will line up with the pupils of the eye. So if we look at our picture here, we could kind of do this sort of thing and then do this sort of, that sort of thing right there. And that's going to kind of give us kind of the middle section of our eyes. And while I'm at it, it is, we're at 16 minutes in. I need you to do a monster favor. I need you to like this video, and I need you to comment. You need to comment. Tell me, what part of this video do you like the best? What lesson, what thing are you going to walk away with tonight? Put it in the comments so I could see and gauge how you're doing, and even I appreciate it. You know how these things go. They really do make a monster difference if I could get you to comment and we can expand from there. So definitely, let's see. So definitely add a comment in the comment section, okay? Let's see. What does AJ say? When I draw and procreate, my lines get deleted a lot as well. Just a tap on the side of the hand will delete it. A line like your head disc. Yes. That happens, and AJ, I don't have the answer for that. Maybe you weren't. It doesn't happen too often. I just have to be kind of careful. Usually there's gesture controls that you can adjust. But anyways, all right, enough of that. Okay, let's go ahead and start to work with our first feature, that being the nose. And I'm going to come down. Look at this. This guy has this beefy nose here. Let's go into green so we can really capture it. Up here, this is going to be the glabella, all right? And he looks like he may have been a boxer. And someone punched his nose maybe one too many times. So let's come in here. And let's just get that big shape. Little bit of the glabella there, and just block it in. Don't be afraid of this. So what if it doesn't get right? There, look at that. I just kind of used a big old triangle, big old rectangle. Hey Patty, this is the chat. You want to put that into the comments at the end of the video, but that is awesome. I learn more and more on proportions of the face. Yes. Thank you, Patty. Okay, so there's our nose coming down. Let's make a little circular here. The bottom of his nose here is circular. So oh, you know what? I forgot to do. Look at that. This is actually the bottom of his nose. I gotta respect my own proportions. And when we're doing when you're doing a three-quarter, you have to remember this one thing is as the nose turns away, if it's a three-quarter, this side over here is going to be a lot bigger than this side. It's going to just poke around. So see that on the guy's nose there? So let's come around here like this. And then we're going to big old nostril over here. And then this other one is just peeking around the corner there. There was speaking of your comment, Patty, I remember there was a great artist. I think he's still alive. His name is Glenn Villapoo. And I've had 2 classes with this teacher, Glenn Villapoo, long time ago. But I remember taking a portrait class with him, and right in the middle of drawing the portrait, he noticed something that he had never noticed before, and he just had to pause and gather himself, And you know, that's the way it is with drawing, and he's been drawing portraits forever. So it was a real small detail that he noticed, but you know what? You never ever stop learning, right? You never ever stop learning. Okay, let's go ahead, and when we get into this little area of his up here on his upper nose area, I want you to think of like you were rolling pieces of Play-Doh or clay and just sticking it to the form. So look, there's this wrinkle right there. There's another one there, and then there's the kind of corner of his eye. You see, I'm just kind of having fun with this, not overthinking it. If you have big old wrinkles, just roll up a little piece of clay in your mind and stick it on there. Okay, let's go ahead and get these eyes in place, all right? So usually the corners of the nose, the wings of the nose line up with the tear ducts of the eyes. So let's come over here. We're gonna put a little dot right there. That's one tear duct. And the other side now, the 3/4 side doesn't usually work like that, but generally speaking, it's a really good measuring alignment. All right, look, there goes one eye, top of one eye, boom, and we're gonna bring that right down like that. 3 lines, boom, boom, boom. And then over here, let's do the same thing. We got this, a little bit right there, and then this is gonna come in like this. And you could even see that, look at this. This whole area is just like what we just did. It's just a big old piece of clay. Just stick it right on there like that. This up here too is just, look at this. Forehead coming in here, right? We're just gonna add a little something up there. And then let's drop in some pupils here. So just some irises. Look, flat. It's not round. It's going to be flat because the bottom part, you can't see it. You see that? Look at that. Just like that. It's going right behind it's deep in his head there. What about this other side? Look at this. Nice curve here, but boom, it just kind of flattens out on the bottom. Plus, these eyes are really set in the head, so don't be afraid to drop some value in those whites of the eyes. So if you look closely, I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to show you this to you. I want you to always be aware of this, all right? Always be aware of this. Right here. Check this out. Boom, right there. You see that? And it's happening over here as well. On every eye, this is actually the thickness of the skin. And the light will come down and bounce off the thickness there. Watch, if I take it, now you see those little light spots. So if you don't remember anything from this, just remember that, okay? Remember that. So on my eye here, I'm going to leave just a sliver of light, just like that. And then over on this side, look at this. You see it he gets a little shadow underneath here. That's the part, your eyeball is round and that bottom skin wraps around the eyeball. So that tucks under and gets some shade underneath there. All right, then we've got older gentlemen. We often get the fatty parts of our eye underneath there. Look at that. Bam, just like that. All right, coming down here, we've got that. Let's keep moving down. Let's get down into the mouth here. So look at this top. You could kind of see these lines right here from the ball of the mouth. Let's just kind of drop those in. But think of these as just this, big piece of clay. right? Look at that. A little bit of shadow here. Just like that. Not that bad. Come over here now. We're gonna add shadow to this whole area as well. But for right now, look at that. Just feel that. Feel that with your mind. Okay. Underneath his nose, we get the ball of the mouth, of course, but then we get the center line, and the center line goes around. You see, it goes around like that. So let's just put a little curve, a slight curve right there, and then locate first. Let's locate just the center right here. All right, where is this? Where is this compared to the nose? So where is this point in relationship to the nose? Let's put that in there. So let's see. I'm gonna say it's gonna be right about there. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to establish where are the corners of his mouth. And now notice, because it's 3/4, this distance is a little bit shorter than this distance. You see that? Let me remove those marks there. So if I come over here, I'm going to put the corner of the mouth right there. There's the center, and then the other corner is going to be way over here. We also have a Facebook group. So if you're looking for an incredible community of people, you should join our Facebook group. I will post a link for that in the comments when we're done and pin it. And yeah, come check us out. We do this event every single week, but then there you can find out all the fun classes that we got coming down the pike here, especially for summertime. I've got a watercolor class, a daily drawing class. We have this summer I'll be doing a watercolor portrait class. I'm looking forward to that. So got a lot happening. That watercolor class for the summer will take place end of June, beginning July. I haven't quite set the date out quite yet. All right. This guy doesn't have much of a upper lip there, but look at that. Look at that lower lip there, and then we're getting a little bit of shadow for his chin. Look at that. Boom, right in there. Looks like I gotta adjust my chin just a bit. Now let's come in here and just not put these wrinkles in, but really think of what is causing those wrinkles. All right, what is causing those wrinkles? And if you, when you are drawing wrinkles, if you think more of like, okay, the skin is gathering here, and what muscles or what things are causing it to happen, you will end up having a much stronger drawing than just trying to replicate exactly what you see. Now you're drawing with what you're thinking. You're thinking through what you're drawing. Okay, it's coming down. Look at, he's got his I don't know what you call this. I want to say it's the, like a turkey gobble or whatever. It's not that though. Oh boy, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Look, this is in front of this back area here. Look at that, jam, just like that. All right, let's come up here and get the forehead. We're gonna put that in as well. All right. Other thing too is when you're learning portraits, I wouldn't recommend. That's what your kids call your neck. Hey, listen, that is there you go. All right, the gobble. uh, drawing beautiful people is very difficult, and I think one thing about drawing portraits is that you need to build your confidence, because if you can just work through the stuff, it's going to take time. But to draw a picture like this man, it's easier if you don't take it so seriously. So anyways, look at this, what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of dropping in an overall tone where things are, where I see his shadow. Okay, I'm not worried about gradation. I'm not worried about gradation or anything. Yeah, just don't take yourself so seriously, right? It took me years to really kind of get this figured out, and I'm still learning. And in the early days, I never showed any of my work. I never showed my portraits to anyone because they were just awful. And your portraits might be awful. Guess what? Everybody's portraits were awful at one point. So there's no look at this. Look at this. I'm thinking, once again, I'm not drawing the wrinkle. I'm thinking more of the skin that's causing the wrinkle. This is a huge, when you start thinking of what is causing these shapes, you'll draw them much, much better. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Yeah, it's just going to take a lot of time. So please don't be so hard on yourself. No one needs to know what you're doing, okay? No one needs to know. You just come over here, check it out. Oh, great, Blubber. Glad to hear it. Yeah, just jump into it. And what happened here? Oh, I made a mess of them. Very good. Glad to hear it, Christina. You made a mess of them. All right, let's get this ear in. So let's see here. Let's see what we got to do with this ear. Let's go with the backwards letter C in here. We have in my daily draw class, every Wednesday, look, there's the secret little letter Y here. Every Wednesday we do a deep dive into portraits, and I really will show you how to do these. I'll show you how to do these features one by one. In fact, today we did did a deep dive on drawing the nose, and spent a good 40 minutes just breaking that down, going into detail. All right, let's see here. We got some hair. Look at this. So look at these short little. When I'm putting in his hair, I'm thinking more of like mass and volume and shape. Okay, so if I come up here, let's just follow the contour. The contour is mainly just an outlining of the shape. So I'm using short little lines here to kind of establish that. Let's come over here now, and I'm thinking a great way to learn to draw hair is to study sculpture and to practice drawing sculpture, because they're drawing out of clay, and it's a great way to learn how to get that hair down. All right, let's see here. Now, if I squint my eyes a little bit, we got some great, look at this value. Look at that value over there. Wow. I'll just drop that in really quick like that. It's like This picture, I know where this picture comes from. This picture comes from the world's greatest website for portrait reference. And boy, I'll tell you, I've used that site for years, and it's called earthsworld.com. Earth's, EARTHS, world, WORLD, earthsworld.com. And what he is, he's a photographer, and he's just documented county fairs. I think he lives up near Oregon or something like that. But man, he's got some fantastic models, fantastic, just common people, as Gene Wilder said in the great movie Blazing Saddles, people of the clay. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then boy, you are missing out. But good old Blazing Saddles. All right, that was a movie by Mel Brooks from a long time ago. Yep, it was a great one. All right, here we go. We're going to drop a little shadow here maybe. Look at that. A little shadow in the ear. All right, now let's look at where his shoulders coming in. So where's his shoulders? So right about there. Look at that. That's easy enough, right? Drop that in like that, and then look at the negative space here in his neck. You see this? So I'm just gonna bring this down here. I'm looking closely, and then this is coming all the way up there like that. All right, now I've got something to aim for. I could come all the way around here like this. Look at that. Bam, just like that. Not too difficult. You have my permission to fail. Fail, just completely blow it. All right, don't feel bad. I had many days that I blew it. In fact, I'll tell you a quick story, and I've told the story before, but it is a classic crash and burn. I had an opportunity right out of college to work in Disneyland for a private company to do caricatures of people, and I just thought that would be a great job. I had all these great ideas of every day going to Disney, working in the park, and this was down in like near the Pirates of the Caribbean. It would have been a great summer job, and the guy was fine with it. He thought my portfolio was good, and then when I actually sat down to actually start to do it, it was the most horrible experience of my life. And I'll tell you, I had people reject my work left and right, and it was just a real, most horrible. Every time I did a portrait, the guy had to come back and redo them all. So that was my first time trying to do it, and I was way over my head. Way over my head. Okay, look at that. There we go. That's not too bad. I think with that and that last little story, I think we're done for the night. So, listen, I really appreciate you tuning in and checking out tonight. Do like the video. Tell your friends to check it out, especially if they are artists as well. Thank you, AJ. And you guys are always a delight to have around. Hey, go out there. Make your day great. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.